Right, guys, let's get started. So let me make sure of where I left off. Just a second here. I want to see this, and I want to see my IIS. Just a moment, please. Okay, there's my IIS. So you can see currently I have my authorization and my resource server, and those are both running. Good morning, Death Packs. It's great to see you. How goes it today? And then over here on my SQL server, I think what I want to do is, should we just go ahead and recreate the database? I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. So let's just get rid of everything here. Just a second here. Probably should have done this before I started, but we're all done now. Okay, and here's my SQL server, and we're clear and good to go here. So what I need to do now is, let's go ahead and publish this thing out. So if I look here at my MVC client, we want to go to my domain level. And if I look at my code first, you can see that I have, cool, all the different interactions here, which are the way that we want. And then also I should have my configuration file, which is fine, which is my seed, right? I likely won't be very responsive. I'm working, no problem at all. That's how most people are when they're watching or learning, or working or learning. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and seed this. So let's create this as the, now remember it's going to go to the default project. So we're going to make this web API resource our default project. And then we'll open this up. We want to leave this thing at the bottom. Come on. And let's go ahead and update the database. Now remember, this one's on my core. I'm sorry, my domain. That one. I gotta open my Postman too. Just a second. Just another second here. All right, so here's my Postman. We're good to go here. So what I should be able to do now is we need to add in our, so that's good. I need to come over to my MVC now. Let's go ahead and set this as my startup project. Let's go ahead and publish this one out now. And this one's on the MVC. So this way we're getting both our MVC client and our authorization set up. Create account is unhappy with me because it says that it wants to, because this is where I left off here yesterday. So when I'm registering, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a token here. Let's just go right here. And we'll update the database. Let's take a look. Here's PHS. You can see that we have all of our tables, including the LE.chat routing tables that we already set up using Entity Framework. Seven up to date, package manager, no migration assemblies was found in MVC. So if I look back over here at my app, does this thing have a user manager? It does, application user manager. So this thing should have a migrations in here, right? That's inside of my context. Looks like I never set that up because I've never extending it, but it doesn't matter. We can add a migration here. Come on, baby. I'm getting all my Jira over on the other side too. All right, let's take a look. All right, good. Now we'll add a migration called my init. So you're probably going to want to add in a... No, this will be all right. back over here. Just another second. All right, good. Now we can update the database. All right, here's my board where we left off. So what are we working on right now? We're going to do my add web API auth endpoints probably. Implement API and API error logger. Create the data access layer for each of that. We also want to do our scaffold out views. So let me add in another task here, which is going to be called scaffold out account and add Twitch account views. Is there like a sign to? Guess not for just me. Let's go back here. Okay. Still need to get my tempo fixed. I haven't done that yet, have I? Okay, so we're good to go. So let's take a look at the SQL. Got both in here now, right? And MVC should only have the identity tables, and it does. So let's go ahead and run it now. We should be good to go. Now what we're going to see it do is authorize against the server when the user logs in. And then that should probably create an account here on, because I need to create the basic admin account, so I need to seed that. So I probably want to seed that. I don't know. Let me see. Aren't you running a seed here in your custom user manager? This might actually be bad. Let me see. Inside of app helpers, you have something called user manager here, where you're creating your new user manager, but then you're also doing it here. Hold on. See, I don't think I'm using this thing at all anymore. Moment. The singleton instance here, the user manager, and then also a user store, which is the user manager is building on the user store. So if I look back at the other one that I made, user manager, identity store, user manager, I wonder if I can just comment this thing out for now. And now if I look at my database, I should see that that actually created a user for that John Doe account, right? Demo. So let's see, if I stop this, and then I want to comment everything out here, and then I come back and delete this, MVC database, and now we'll rebuild it. We're going to see that one of those errors will go away. Come on there. So it says right here. No, that's fine. The name user manager does not exist. Register. Okay, so we don't need to run this, right? And now it should be fine. What's that thing close to your coffee cup? This? It's a cup holder? Just a little tile thing from when I could run. That's all. I can't run anymore. Make sure you guys join us at the discord.pixelhorsestudios.com. Yeah, it should be a fun little thing. I'm sure it will be one day soon. Okay, so that built. So now we can update the database. We should see that we don't seed with that basic user. And then we'll be good to go. Ow, that hurt my ears. Second. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? I don't know if I like this chair. I just recently bought it. It's kind of okay. It's kind of not. All right, so that worked. So let's take a look. Cool. So now we no longer have that user. So that's a success. So let's run this and take a look at the site. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So here we go. So everything is running just like we want. And now when I log out, I should be able to log in. Oh, interesting. interesting. Okay, so when I look back here at my context under my under my domain, I have a thing in here called migrations, and then I have a thing in here called configuration, and then I have a thing in here called add admin account. So that's being added to this user. So I should be able just to go into my admin user, grab this password, and then we'll be able to log in as admin. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a request out for a token. My token returned with a token. Okay, so we are successfully authorizing our MVC application with resource owner credentials, client credentials. It's finding the bearer token, and now what it's going to do is it's going to look for this user, admin. Since admin is null, because it's currently not registered in this application manager, because you've been registered here, so I should just be able to register you here. If my user is equal to null, then what you want to do is you want to do a await, and then I think you have something in here called a service something or an auth something. Don't you have something in here, application user manager? Create, it needs to have this new identity user, which is going to be a username equals your, what was it called that you're passing in view model? Username, password hash. You have to create that password hash here in a minute. What else do you have in here that you want? Two-factor, no. Phone number, no. Do you have anything else? Password, remember me, return URL. Nope, that's it. Because the password goes here. And that's going to be view model.password. All right. And now that we've created this, like that. So it's going to be called result, right? Because you need to actually do a check here. If my result dot is succeeded, then what you want to do is this. Else, what you want to do is return null. Yeah. Then you're going to go ahead and sign in here. So now it should work. Let's give it a try. All right, let's go ahead and log in. Here we go. We get the token. We register the user here, right? It succeeded. We grab that user. We have it. And then we log them in. Perfect. And now we're logged in. Cool. And I'm logged in as my admin account. So that's awesome. So I'm using my authorization server now to get in. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of some of this stuff on the side of the MVC, right? If you look at this, we have way too much things that are going on here. So if we look at my views here and we look at, actually, let's go ahead and make a modification in here. When I look at this again and I look at my, I want to look at the graphs, tables, forms, UI widgets. I want to look at the, there's a place in here where I can look at materials. We're going to change the CSS on this, and then I'm going to remove the things on the panel on the left, and then we'll start adding in those right now. Okay, so here if I look at I gotta find it here. Pre-built skins. I think we'll just use something like this. What's Pixel Smash? I just like the name. Ultra Light's pretty. So we just add this to the body tag. So what that means is when I come in here and I look at my CSS under my content, CSS for my your style. No, smart admin, skins, RTL production men. What do I, no. Just a second. I should just be able to do this. It's probably going to be in my template, right? Because the CSS is already written, it's going to be here inside of the skin, so this is going to be down, and it's going to be inside of the, it's going to be down here inside of my view, and then my shared, and then my template, which is called a layout. Okay, here it is, and then bang, here, class equals all of this stuff, plus that one. Now we can take a look. Now we have the new skin applied. Easy enough, right? So let's get rid of this crap on the side. What I want to do, let me actually change this. I want to change this to a different one. I want something that looks different. Let's do this one. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to come look at my aside here. And now this thing is going to set up all of my different routes depending on how I want this to go. So we'll just go ahead and do a comment out here. Star at. For pretty much everything. So that's at the unordered list there. Perfect. Okay. Under the partial of the current user here, and that's fine. So let's go ahead and take another peek. Cool, so now we got rid of all that crap. Now we still have dashboard over there, so that's fine. We're using this as our model. So now if our route is equal to, and we can just leave dashboard, I'm fine with that one. So now what we want to do is we want to add a new area in here called alley chat, and this thing is going to need to have a controller that's based on the module that we wrote over here. So if I look inside of my alley.chat library models, you came up with this abstract user, an abstract channel, a provider, okay, and then a routed and a routing, which are all based off the same one, and then also a module, okay? See, I think your module is going to be somewhere, power provider module, provided module. Oh, that's a base module, right? Yeah, this is called a base provider module, sorry. Okay. So now what I want to do is we're going to create a new, let me think about this. Well, so alley.chat is going to have a new user associated with it, and then you're going to have a new user Twitch, which involves a Twitch username. So we need to create a page which is going to allow you to add a new username. Just a moment. So to do that, what we want is that we're going to add a new, I need to probably add a new model in here, right? Because you're going to have a Twitch ID, you're going to have a Twitch username that you're adding to this. What other things do you need to have on this page? It's only going to be a list of these things. So up here under alley.chat, you're going to need a view model. These are all just called models. So let's add a new project in here. Call this a C# class library framework, and then this is going to be in my Visual Studio's pre-PHS. I'm inside of my modules, alley.chat, and we want to go to library, and we're going to create it right here. phs.alleychat.lib. So this is going to be a new folder in here. We're going to call these view models. And what this one is going to be a what, register Twitch user view model. And then also you're going to have another one in here called your Twitch user view model, but then Twitch users view model. Do I currently have that? I don't. So let's add in a new view model in here. We're going to call this my Twitch users view model. So on a Twitch users view model, you're going to have this public class here, which is going to be inheriting from a base view model. You need to add a reference in here. I think if I just build it, I'll probably get a reference. And then if I look back down here at the user Twitch, so now here you need to have a, that's going to be a user Twitch view model. So you need to have a user Twitch view model here, right? Just a moment. Add a new item here. We're going to call this a user Twitch view model, which is just going to be these two properties. And that's going to be inheriting from my base view model. This thing needs to be inheriting from my, have a reference over to my core lib. So did I change the name of it in this one? View model base. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so back up here then under my core, let's change that. Base view model. Okay. So now this is a users Twitch view model. And this one is going to be inheriting from a base view model again. And then, just another moment here, this is going to have a user Twitch view model. Like that, okay. So then back up here where you're registering this, it's just going to be one of these user Twitch view model, right? Which is fine. This is going to be all of the different ones, and this one will be to register a new one, and this one will be. Okay, that's perfect. So now when I come back up here into the MVC, we're going to scaffold these out. So I made this area called alley chat. That'll change some of the routing for that area, for these controllers. So we're going to add a new controller as a scaffolded item. And we're going to do this as a MVC controller with empty. Let's go ahead and do this with entity framework, and then we'll modify it. So we want to do this one for a user alley chat. Oh, I don't have a reference to it. So let's add a reference to my library called my models. Hold on. Because it's only going to be while we're doing this entity framework nonsense, right? Because you want to have it template. It could template off every view model as well. So can I do that? Let's try that. So if we add in here a new scaffolded item, and we're going to do this as an empty And we're going to call this my Twitch controller. All right, so now we're returning this view here called index. So we have to create it. We're going to call this index, and we're going to make this a template as a list. Just a second. Do you want to do it as a list? Because you're going to do that other piece, I think. Hold on just 1 second. If you do it as a list, it'll scaffold correctly. Otherwise, you're going to have to use a... So let's just go ahead and do this as a list, and then we're going to change my model class here to be... I still don't see it. I'm looking for user. Hey, thank you, live EDU support. Definitely will check that off when I'm off air today. Account, user ID, username, account. This is coming out of the auth module. Let me take another peek here under your Ali chat for your There we go. That was really confusing. And now what I want to look at is my user here is abstract, so it's down here under my Twitch lib models called user Twitch. So let's add that reference over to my lib auth models. This looks like I put these ones backwards. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I got a couple of naming things to do in here, but that's no worries. We want this one. So let's make sure that we can use this now. And then just to try it out here, we're just going to do some crap, user Twitch, and just see if it'll let me modify it. Because I feel like it's going to need to have some other... Let's see if that actually builds, because I feel like this isn't going to... It needs to have additional references in it, and we'll find that out real quick. If you guys haven't yet, make sure that you check us out on YouTube. Let me post that link. All the older videos are up there, and there's no music, so nothing's been muted. You can catch up with where we're at. If we get up to 50 follows on that, I can request a unique URL, so that's always fun. All right, let's see. So this worked. It seems like this is fine. I don't know what this is talking about. Whatever, it would totally work. So let's go ahead and kill this, okay? Back over in my controller now, in your view model, sorry. You have this user Twitch view model, which you need to scaffold out, and you're going to do it up here in your controller. You already did that, so let's go ahead and add a index. And this one's going to be called a Twitch. I guess it was called a user Twitch. There we go. And our data context class was our... You don't have a reference to the data context class. which is okay. So let's just go add that actually real quick to my context application DB layer. It should be okay. Public DB set, and we're going to say that this one is my Twitch user Twitch, sorry. Okay, let's add a migration in here. Just a second while it runs that. Let's run it. I wonder why it's changing screens now. I'm telling you, every day, Visual Studio 17. A little funnier. So now we can come over here and we can add in my, good, it ran the seed. We can add in a new scaffolded item, which is this new MVC view, which is a list of my user Twitch and my application view model. We don't want this as a partial. We don't need this to reference the script libraries because the bundles are taking care of it. It needs to be rebuilt. I just wonder, how many cups do you drink daily? Like 2.5 in the morning, and that's about it. I don't drink a lot anymore of coffee. I guess I'll drink a triple latte if I need to wake up, though. That's like my favorite thing. So, you know, a binge. Okay, let's try that again. This is going to be called index. It's called a user Twitch. I'm sorry, this is a list. User Twitch, and my data context class is my application DB layer. It says it can't get the type. So it does need those additional references, I think, is what's happening. So just go ahead and add them. So I know that I'm adding in my references for the models. So let's go ahead and add in the lib models. The lib, not that one. And then also core lib. Interesting, I don't have core lib models. Fascinating. Okay. Hey there, Skello. How you doing, man? You're not working on the game anymore? I still got the game. This is actually the back-end infrastructure for Pixel Horror Studio so that I can maintain data gathering as well as like stay in communication. It's going to be working the overlay and additionally kind of tying in all the different pieces. So this is kind of the glue that makes everything up. And so I got to get this piece done here. Okay, so now we should be able to rebuild it. And then hopefully it'll scaffold, and if not, we'll just do it manually. But I don't really want to do that. I hate that. Could probably just scaffold out a view model without a data context class. If that's the case, we'll try that. So let's try that actually. So we're just going to do a view here, and we're going to do a user Twitch view model. We don't need a data context class. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries, man. We got a web API in here. We have the authorization server in here. I know like on Android, you'll be able to authorize with like a Google account, right? So we can do that as well, but then we'll also have our own Pixel Horror Studios authorization system and a web API to support all of the back end of the different platforms, as well as then this server, which we already have kind of the basics of. It's confusing. MVC stuff are so confusing for me. Scalo, we started this project live, and we're only in a couple days in, so here's the link to the YouTube. Check it out. There's no music, so that everything's there, and it'll really help make sense. So here's what we got for a scaffolded view. This is going to create an enumerable, so a list of this user Twitch model. A user Twitch model at this point only has a Twitch ID and a username, so it's whatever it is that is registered for this account. And then additionally, we're just going to scaffold it and run it. Now this is called view, so it's not going to work if we don't call it index. Now let's show it. Then we're going to modify it. Oh, no problem, man. So why isn't this working? Anybody want to guess? Because I'm passing in a model, right? And I'm actually, when I'm running this controller, I'm not even passing in a model. So what we need to do here is we would just need to have like a var view models equals a new list of my user Twitch view model. And then we'll just return that here. I gotta get more coffee in a second. Come on there. All right, so here we are. So we needed to go to Ali Chat Twitch. So it'll automatically take me to index, and you can see, okay, cool. So we got it. We got our reference. We lost our layout. So how do we fix our layout? So a layout is shared in ASP.NET. So our layout here, we received a new one here, which we're not going to use. So if we go back down here to my shared, view start, we'll just take this view and we'll put it in the new one. And there it is. Hey, it's still ugly as sin. Why is that ugly as sin? So let's go into the aside here. Shared aside. Let's go ahead and kill this. And then we added this all the way back down here at the bottom too. And then up here now we can add another one of these for what we're actually working on. And so now if my route is index, no. Just a moment. You need to get an area, so here. HTML route if area ASP.NET MVC. New area equals area name. Action link. So you should probably right here. Just a second. Okay, so what we can do here is right here, we can say that if this route is not coming from index anymore, see how this is coming from an individual view? What we want this to do is we want this to come from my, did I call it Twitch? It was Alley Chat, right? That was the name of the area. The area was called Alley Chat, if I recall, right? Alley Chat, yep. So now if it is Alley Chat and it is active, we're going to change this title to be Alley Chat. It's got a class here. We're going to change the icon in just a minute, and then also we're going to call this thing my Twitch. We actually don't, we could just call this Alley Chat, sorry. And now here, this is going to be a title here. It's called a, and then it's going to be here called Twitch. And then we can actually get rid of this one. And now we also need to make sure that we have this link here pushing to the right area, which is a new area, right? Sorry, that's not right. It's like this, area equals, and then we can put in here Alley Chat. And I think that should do it. Remember, since we're working in HTML and JavaScript, we don't have to reload the server, so we should just be able to run it. Now we can see Alley Chat. So if we come down and we look at pre-built skins, and now we could come back up here at Alley Chat and look at Twitch, and it says Alley Chat home. It didn't find it. So it's routing me to the wrong place here. So this needs to be Twitch. Okay, now it's still dropping me into this first one here. Which should be fine. Now it won't. Okay, perfect. So now if we come down here and we look at our widgets, right? You made the entire interface, it looks sexy. No, this is Smart Admin. I use templates for this. So I just brought this one in and now I'm hooking it up. So let's see, we got to figure out which one of these widgets that we want to use. So let's take a quick peek then. So we're over here inside of my widgets, which is home widgets. So I should be able to come down here to the home widgets. But I got to tell you, Skylar, this interface was 15 bucks. So I mean, it's smart to, you know, use the tools that are out there. So here we have to identify what it is that we want to get this. Class, content, content, content. Okay, so over here on my index, we're going to dump this over on this side. I can get rid of this stuff for a little while. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring some of this stuff in. I want this beginning piece here. Okay, and then here I want this widgets grid. So we'll just take a widget all the way down to the end of the section, end of the widget here. So this is for the grid. So we want the grid and a row, and then the new widget start, and then the end widget div. Like that. And then we want to grab this end widget and row. Table div, div, div. And then we can probably just comment this out for now. So let's take a look at what we did. Might have to take a look at Smart Admin. I use WrapKit currently. Good investment. It looks awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of different interfaces out there too, and they're really cost effective. The designers, I don't think they're charging enough, if you ask me, but they're making lots of sales. And then it keeps me from having to go in there and muck around too much. So article says that it's not having an end tag. Right there. And then content doesn't have an end tag. And then I'm almost positive I never put in here a so here, this is our actual form now, right? This table. So if I come up here and I look at what is included in this, we're making this new widget. We give it a couple of different options here. Let's make it size to be extra small will be the whole width. The small will be the whole width, medium will be most of the width, and large will be most of the width. We're going to get rid of this, and we'll just call this my registered Twitch accounts. And now here, change title to update and save instantly. Don't care. And divot, edit box, widget, edit, divot box. I don't think I care. So we'll leave that there for now. And then here, this is our widget body. So this is where I can get rid of my content. Content goes there. Like that. Let's run it. There it is. So we did end up with this color and this edit. Well, that allows me to what? Make custom widgets. I don't think I care about that. So let's come up here and make some modifications on this widget itself. We need to add in here a couple of different properties. We want to do this color button equals false. We want to do this edit button equals false. We want to do this delete button equals false. This is a title that it's giving me here. So this will be called alley.chat, and then this one will be called Twitch accounts registered. Okay, it looks like my edits are not making it in here because there's no records in here. So we need something to create a new one, right? Do you have something in here for that? Create new. Let's just bring that in here. Isn't there like a footer? So if I look back over here on my widgets, there should be something in here with a footer. Widget switch. This one has no footer. Well, this one's pretty. I need a footer. Big button widget. Let me take a quick peek at this one here. So we're back at here. We want the one that says progress bars, right? So if I come back to my widget and I want to look for the one that says progress bars. On the current document here. I thought these things, some of them had footers on it. It has a header on it. Let's go back and look at the dashboard. It might just be on the dashboard. I mean, this one's pretty close here. Could I just add in a footer and see what happens? Another second. So let's just make it easy on myself. We'll just dump this in here underneath the header. That's fine. Now, we could put in a prettier grid if you guys want. But first, let's get it so that we can add in the rest of the pieces before we get crazy with it. So when we create new, it's going to say that there's nothing there. So let's create the create one. So we'll create a new view here. And this one's called a user create user Twitch view model. Data context class is none, and we'll add a layouts page. Looks good. This one's passing in an anti-forgery token. That's fine. If I come back over here to index, we probably want to hijack most all of this stuff here. There's probably a way to template this. Hold on. Inject something here, that would. But then I'd have to do dynamic routing. This is easier. Okay. So this is a form here that we can just directly inject into my and we'll put this right here in the begin body. And then I want to go back to the index because I left this footer in here. And let's pull this. And let's move this to have a div that it's being contained in. Let's give it a try. On your controller, you also need to have a and now what are you going to have here is it's a var user Twitch view model, right? But it's just a new one, so you're going to be returning a view called your new user Twitch view model. This, you actually have to be getting this from your client services class, so you'll do that in a moment. Just a moment, I gotta get more coffee. All right, I'm here. So now, when you come in, you look at your Twitch, show my widget. You can make it even full screen if you want. It's pretty nice. We'll create a new one here. So it said it could not find create. Hey, there, Deadline. How are you doing today? Working on some ASP.NET MVC. I've now got almost all the pieces in place. I got to start probably writing a web API here for a minute to add my Twitch user, but that's not too bad. Probably need to still write in a logger for all of this. Let me think for a moment. And maybe in a cache system. What is this? Cool. So now if I have a Twitch username and a Twitch screen name and I create it, and then I go back to the list, when I'm clicking create, oh, it's not running. I don't have this in a post back at the moment. So over here, I wonder if I could have just made this easier on myself. MVC controller with rewrite actions. That was what I was looking for before. So I'm going to call this my Twitch controller. Now I can save myself some time. Perfect. So now back over here in my both on the index and on the create. And this is grabbing my form collection here, which was my type. User Twitch view model. Cool. Now we can get rid of this one. We're going to check it again to make sure that everything is firing when it's supposed to. We also need to have a details, I think. But we need to have a create in here. In the meantime, while this thing is loading, I need to come look at my data access layer on my web API, my resource web API. So currently, I don't have anything over here for this controller. So we need to add that in. So if I go to Twitch, and I see it here, and then I click on create. Well, that's fine. Okay, I'm good on all that. So let's go ahead and code in our web API, okay? So back over here on the resource server, we need to create a new controller, which is called a web API 2 with entity framework. Do you want entity framework? Just another moment, because you have everything already stepping through. So you just need this one. Okay, and you're going to say that this thing is your Twitch controller. So here you're going to set that this has a prefix here of AliChat. So this way you can do attribute routing, and then I've been into JavaScript, PHP, HTML lately. I've even been thinking about trying Node.js to use server instead of my C#. One of my first attacks at Node.js have been failures. Yeah, Node.js is good until you get it too large. I've heard it has some stability problems at the high level, but it's nice if you're trying to keep everything in a JavaScript stack. Do you have a special keyboard for developing, or is that an extension to your keyboard? This one? Oh, this is just a gaming keyboard, so it's a bloody keyboard. Aren't even. Hi, I was wondering if you could design me a new web layout for my site. I'll pay you nicely. Sure, give me an email at liverdevtrying@gmail.com, and we can definitely figure something out. Okay. So here now, when I'm doing this Twitch controller, I need to have something for a post at the moment, right? So I think you're already in your modules over here for your auth. Nope, for your lib. You should have and you don't. So let's create a new project in here. Inside of my Ali chat modules, Ali chat lib. phs.alichat.twitch. I'm just .lib. Okay, this thing needs to have in here some view models. All of these things come in here. These were in the wrong class, but we'll just actually pull this whole thing there, and then we'll come in here and we'll change the namespace here. Lib twitch.lib. And then we need to add in here a core lib. No problem. I'm looking for a cool backdrop for my new site. Alrighty, no problem. Careful there. I think I remember you coming on the channel before, buddy. Just be careful on that. We try to keep things family friendly. All right, let me see here. So now on my I have a good example right here of what I want to do. So let's just bring this in. And it looks like I need to have some kind of a base controller in here. So let's add a new controller in here. We're going to say this is a empty web API controller. We're going to say that this is a base controller. It'll be abstract. This thing is going to be passing one of this create response into it. Like that. Looks good. Okay. So now we can just go ahead and rinse and repeat this over in my Twitch controller. This one needs to be a base controller. You're passing over your I service Ali chat Twitch. Just Ali chat, right? Hold on. Because what did you put already in this under your module? Did you... Oh, you don't even have anything. So you haven't decided. You haven't decided yet what you want to do. You'll do one for each. Ali chat Twitch. And you're going to say that this is a iClient services Ali chat Twitch. Nah, we'll just leave it like that. Client services Ali chat. Okay, we currently don't have that created, right? And so let's come down here and create a data access layer. So the first thing that we need to add in here is a data access layer. And we need to add in a new project here, and this is going to be a class, and this goes inside of my modules, inside of Ali Chat, into a new folder we're calling Data Access Layer. And then I want to name this project my phs.alichat.dal. Now there's a couple of pieces in here. You have a bounded context that you need to do. So you're going to have a context in here. You're going to have a repo if you have one, and then you'll also have a unit of work. So you'll have a unit of work Ali Chat. You're going to have a context Ali Chat. Context Ali Chat is going to be inheriting from your base context, right? Because it needs to have that. Oh, shit. Did you not bound these? Yeah, you did. No. No, you haven't. So to do a bounded context, we come over here and we look up DDD, and then we're going to look up context, and then bounded C#. It's this first link. Julie Lehrman. It's a great reference, and all the way at the very bottom is this base context. And now when I look back over here at my core, under my data access layer core, I do see a context base. So let's add a reference over to my core data access layer. Did I call it context base? Was that the problem? So back over here in core, we're going to go into the data access layer, and the data access layer, we're going to say that this is called base context. And this one's called base context. Okay. And this thing needs to be passing in a type of my context Ali Chat. And then also a base context. We're probably going to need to add a reference to my entity framework in here. So let's go ahead and add entity framework under the manage NuGet packages. Oops, I'm in the wrong pack. This one. All right. So here you need to have the constructor, right? Which doesn't look like it's taking anything. And then also now you're going to have your entities. Luckily you already defined these in your domain down here under my code first. So those are here. This is for Ali Chat, provider, okay? So let's just go ahead and grab all of this. And the ones that we want go here. And we want to do Ali account, add reference, add the provider here for the Twitch, add entity framework, get rid of these. What is wrong here? Oh, like that. All right, so there's my context. Let's go ahead and extract the interface from it. And then I need to come back to my... You're probably going to want to create a models folder or something in here. We'll get to there when we get there. Okay. That looks fine. Now, my repos, I don't necessarily think I need anything. And then my unit of work here. So we have this as a public, and it's going to be inheriting from my unit of work base, which I want to go in and rename because that's a stupid name. Okay, and then we're going to bring this one in, and this is going to need to be passing in a type of context here, which is a I context alley chat. And then we need to pass in this constructor, just like that. So the other thing that you have in here is you have this public repo generic. Isn't that what you called these things? Yeah. And this one's going to be a, oops. And this is going to be of a type. And now I'm going to pull up my context over here so I can see it. Oh, not that one, sorry. This one. This is the initializer, you can see. So now when this thing starts, it's not going to create the database at all, even though it's still going to continue to contain those interactions. So this is what we want. This is going to be a generic here of my, we have to do one for each account, alley chat, right? Just a moment. Yeah, account alley chat is one. And then down here, we actually have to add the reference to my data access layer core. Oh, it's because it has two. Is that how they all are? Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure they are. Yep, it is. Okay. So this is actually going to be a protected, right? Like that. We need to add in this reference. And there is no get and set on this one, right? So you have a few of these things. Providers should be a generic, right? Nope. Provider's a real one. Provider module routed is abstract. Provider module routing is abstract. Really? All right, that makes sense. Channel is abstract. User is abstract. Channel Twitch is not. So these ones are not now. Channel Twitch. provider Twitch routed. Provided Twitch routing, user Twitch. This one will be called my channels Twitch. This one here will be my providers Twitch routed, provider Twitch routing, user Twitch. Now you have to actually create these things when they are used. So public, repo generic, account, alley chat, iContext alley chat. And now get, and now if my accounts is equal to null, accounts is equal to a new one of these, passing in my context. And that's it. This actually needs to be disposable. As does the context. And then also the interface. Okay. So, that doesn't make sense, does it? Okay. Also, this one has my ace base unit of work on it. This thing is going to get rinsed and repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So that's 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Provider. The next one here is channels Twitch. The next one here is provider Twitch routed. The next one is provider Twitch routing. And then I think the final one is Twitch, user Twitch. Okay. This is for Twitch. This is for Alley Chat. Okay. Let's go ahead and build this out. We need to extract the interface from it. And then also it's disposable. All right. So now what we have to do, that's done, is we have to create another project in here, and we're going to call this my framework in here. It's under my Alley Chat data access layer, modules, Alley Chat, data access layer. This thing's going to be called my phs.alleychat dot data access layer dot service. So we're going to call this my data access layer services. Just data access layer, and then we'll say that this is my alley chat. I like that. Okay, so this thing is going to definitely have a couple of different pieces in it, right? This is where we're going to be doing most of our conversions from view models over to our data access layer. So for example, our first one here we'll have as a public async, and we'll do it as a task. And this one's going to be called, like, I don't know, we were working with create account Twitch. Create Twitch user. And that's going to pass in a Twitch user view user Twitch view model, right? Additionally, this thing should probably pass back requests and responses. Do you have those things ready to rock? You don't. So you need to have in here a request and then also a response. So when you're passing this one, well, it's okay. We're back to not working. There we go. All right. So now what we want to do is we also need to inject our unit of work, right? So we have a public. Don't you have something in here called a base data access layer already in your core? We're going to call this my base data access layer. So this base data access layer. Wait, what? Okay, we want to add it to my data access layer services. Let me add it in here to my reference called my PHS core del service. And now this thing needs to have a type of unit of work. So unit of work, alley chat. Did I ever make that? Back over here in the data access layer, unit of work, alley chat. So we need to add in a reference then to my alley chat data access layer. And then we need to implement my explicit, okay, and then also my add project reference, and then also my constructor. Here we want to initialize the auto mapper, even though there's nothing to do with it at this point. Doesn't it already happen though in base? It does. So you don't need to worry about that here. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to do a unit of work dot users Twitch dot get async s, where my s dot, go ahead and add my references here. Twitch username dot trim dot to upper is equal to user Twitch dot username dot trim dot to upper. And now what you want to do is you want to say var if my user is equal to null, then what you want to do is you want to create it. So you're going to do a, you need to have an auto mapper reference in here, right? You already have that here in your base. I think you already have a mapper in here. So you should just be able to, in your initializer, say mapper equals new mapper configuration, I think is what it is, right? So you need to add into my services here a new. Hey there, Patrick. How you doing? Richard Chu, greetings. What game engine are you using? Oh, I'm just using Visual Studio right now to build a web app. We need to pass in my, what was I looking for? I thought we need to pass in the auto mapper. This one here. Okay. And we'll do this with C. And this needs to have at the end of it a create mapper. Okay, so here you're going to have a c.create map, and you want to go from your user Twitch to your user Twitch view model dot reverse map. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to say var entity equals mapper.map user Twitch to my user Twitch. And then what you want to do is you want to do a unit of work dot user Twitch dot insert entity await my unit of work dot save changes. So now if this is positive, then you want to, because that's returning a bool, return my entity, return my mapper dot map to my Twitch view model of my entity. Hey there, Tasty Graph. I'm doing great. How are you doing today? Base view model cannot be found. User Twitch view model. Oops. And if in fact that does happen, return null. Okay. So now that we just have this one little function here called create Twitch user, I'm going to extract the interface. Just a second. All right, I'm here. Sorry about that. Just doing good. Just wanted to pop by and say hello. I haven't seen your stream in a while. Yeah, I haven't been here in a little bit. Tasty Graph. Thank you so much. It's good to have you back. Tim Apple says, line 25 need to wait. Let me see what you're talking about. Yep. Thank you. Good catch. Good catch. All right. So now I should be able to, I have my data access layer services ready to rock. So now over here on my resource web API, under my Twitch controller, we're going to call this my AliChat Twitch controller, because I'm overriding it anyways. We're calling this my data access layer AliChat. So let's add a reference to it. This one. Okay, and then we can add in this. Oh, shit. Okay, so you're modifying this one in here. You don't need to have these two references. This isn't an account response. So what you're doing here is you're going to have a create Twitch account. And you're passing in here a new type of, in your AliChat lib, you need to pass in a response. I'm sorry, a request for a user Twitch create request. And that's a base request, right? And all you want to do is pack this user in here, which was a Twitch. It was a string called my Twitch user ID, and then also a string called my Twitch username. And we'll double check that before we put this out there. And so now over here, we're passing in this request, and then we need to get this response, which is a Twitch user response. And this is just a public, and this is going to be inheriting from my base response. And all it is a Twitch user view model. Like that. And we need to make sure we stick to our convention, user Twitch response, and also user Twitch create request. Okay, and then we're going to, right here, create the correct response, and return it. If in fact my data access layer dot create user Twitch try to create the account. you're going to pass over this request dot new one of these things. And actually, there's an easier way to do that, where you could just do a mapper dot map, and you want to go from your user Twitch view model over to your request, like that. And actually, you don't want to have an auto mapper in this, so you're going to do a new one of these things. You'll just do it manually. Like that. Okay, so now you have to add in your Twitch ID is going to be equal to my request dot Twitch ID, right? And my Twitch username is going to be equal to my Twitch username. Like that. So let's just go ahead and create this here. Then you're going to create it, and you'll return a otherwise you'll return a bad request. And then you'll get a bad error. So you do need to check to see if that has an error. And then finally, what we're going to need to do is create a client services layer, right? But let's go ahead and just double check to see if this is working. I'm just going to run this real quick. Here come the mods, says Goggles. What's up, buddy? How you doing? I'm actually just about out of time for the day, and I need to stop this because I wanted to update my database first. Add migration to my code first context. That one. And this one's going to be changes to names of users. Let's try it again. Thanks, Goggles. Appreciate that. How are you doing today? PHS, lib, alley chat, lib, view models, user Twitch view model. Rebuilding. What has this channel become? We're building the back-end infrastructure right now for Pixel Horror Studios, and then we'll be back over to our game. Getting close to release, so I need to make sure that I have all that up. Interesting. So I'm going to just unload this for a second. We're going to reload it. Waiting for it. Okay, so it worked. Let's run it. Crap, I forgot to update that database. Here we go, here we go. Let me see, package manager. We want to add a migration here, and we're gonna say changes to the names of users. Okay, and then we're gonna update that database. And then we're gonna run it. So now I should be able to see my Swagger. Here. And inside of my Ali chat, I should have made something called post. Can't have two of these. Let's get rid of that. Here we go. And now we can post on this one, and we're just going to try this string and this string, and we tried it. It says dependency injection failed because we forgot to put in our dependency injection into my app start unity config here. We need to have these. This is going to be iContext Ali chat. This one's going to be data access layer Ali chat. And this one's going to be unit of work Ali chat. Try it again. Trying it again. And there it is. Bad request. So why is it unhappy with me? Right here. User. Ah, that's why. So this. So you need to get singular default from this, right? There we go. Let's try it again. Hey, we're fine. Here we go. And there we can see that it worked successfully. So now we are logging this, although we're not collecting our user Twitch here. We're not filling this. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's try it again. Now we should get a conflict if I run that same one. And it do, so now we'll just add another character in there, and it loaded, and it is serializing them correctly. Now this is terrible. I don't want to do that with a base view model. So if I come in and I look at this response, and I look there, and I look at this base view model, we can actually remove this, okay? Rebuild it, and we'll come over here to my get, and close this thing out. Boo. Just a second. Don't worry about those. That's just Visual Studio giving me bugs again. Okay, let's close this out. Go ahead and kick over to my get. Let's commit everything out to the get, and we're gonna say that we halfway through implementing a Twitch registered user page, and we'll commit that out. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thanks very much for staying with us. In case you don't know, my name is Rob. I'm streaming on the mornings from like 5:30 or 6 until about 8 in the morning. Click the follow if you haven't yet. Make sure you check us out at discord.pixelhorrorstudios.com. Also, all of these videos are now up on YouTube, and there is no music associated with those. We have to get up to 100 subs in order to get a custom channel. So there's the link there. So help me get there if we can. And until tomorrow, also make sure you guys check out Indie Dev here on twitch.tv. There's a lot of great content coming out. So if you guys have any questions, again, I'm always around. And until tomorrow, guys, have a good night.